activity is the key to your Primerica business, okay? So there's a rule in selling. Here's the rule in selling. 20% of the people you sit with are going to say yes to you no matter what, okay? And, you know, you put a product in front of them and they have any need for that product whatsoever, they're going to say yes. 20% of those people are going to say no to you no matter what. Okay, I don't care if Art Williams, Ian Pruckner, and Assad Faraj are all sitting across a kitchen table and they're giving away $20 bills for $5. That person is going to say no, right? Okay, 60% of the people that you sit with, you have to get at least 4 no's, and that's where all your money's made in this business. Now, why do I tell you this about activity? You could absolutely stink at the kitchen table. I mean, you could be the worst of the worst person in Primerica. If you get in front of enough people, you could become an RVP here, right? If you just get your activity up, you could solve every. Now, Ian has been my coach for a long time, as well as Assad. But every time I come to Ian with a problem, he'll tell me this: every problem you have in Primerica is solved by activity. Every single problem you have. How many of you have some problems in Primerica? Okay, if you don't have any problems, you're not working hard enough. Okay, because everyone has some problems in Primerica, right? Unless you're Bobby Buisan, right? Okay? So every problem that you have can be solved by activity. So activity is the key to success in your Primerica business. Now, I want you to understand something. Activity starts with your mindset, okay? Again, all the problems you have within Primerica are between these 5 inches right here, or 4 inches, depending on how wide your head is, right? Okay, so let me ask you something. Do you know what you really want from your Primerica business? Okay, is that really clear to you? If I asked you, what do you want from your Primerica business, would you actually be able to tell me? Do you have it written down? Do you have a goal? Do you focus on it on a regular basis? Because you need to know what you really want from this business. Because we all find some things out about in Primerica, and that's this, that sometimes this business gets a little tough, right? Now, how many of you are here, you've been here for less than a month? Less than a month. This is the easiest business in the world. Okay? Trust me. You're never going to have any problem. No. Okay, so listen, we're going to face some adversity, and that's true with anything you try to do. When I was a pastor, I said this: anything that's worth getting is worth giving something up for, right? Would you agree with that? Anything in life that you really want that has value is going to cost you something. And that's going to require some effort and some difficulties and some stress and some strain at times. So what do you really want from your Primerica business? You know, Assad stands up here and asks you to write the dream life down, right? What is your why that makes you cry? Why do you do this? When you're making an extra $3,000 or $30,000 a year, how are the people in your life going to be better? He doesn't say that just because he wants to stand up here and spend 5 minutes at the beginning of the meeting, right? Because that is the most important thing, and all of your activity is going to stem from what you really want from your Primerica business, okay? Let me just tell you, I didn't want to sit behind a desk for 12 more years and make other people rich. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Like, I had a great job as far as jobs go. I was highly compensated. I was good at what I did. I was really good at what I did in international tax work. But I wanted something else. I wanted time and money freedom, and I wanted to be able to go and serve God without regard to time or money. Okay? And I wanted to free my children to be able to serve God in any way they want. Now, I don't want my kids to do nothing, right? Because they'll come out like Paris Hilton then. You know what I'm talking about? That's not what I'm talking about. But if my kids want to go on the mission field, if they want to go to a Christian college, if they want to do something with their lives that's great for God or for their families, I want them to be able to have the freedom to do that, right? And there's no job in the world that can really give that to them. So that's part of my why with Primerica. And I want a Corvette someday. I'm not going to lie. All right. So listen, what are you willing to sacrifice for a period of time to get this? Okay, and if I look at your calendar, that's going to tell me what you're really willing to sacrifice. Okay, Because your calendar and your checkbook don't lie to me. Right? If you say, man, I want this primary thing. Oh, Greg, I want it so bad. I want that time freedom, man. I want to be like Assad Faraj. I want to be like Chris Koo. I want to be like, how many appointments you have? I got 2. I'm going to be like, what? Then you don't want it very badly, do you? Right? So what are you willing, and I say this for a period of time, because here's the beauty of Primerica. It's not forever, right? It's for a period of time until you get it built, and then once it's built, you can enjoy it, and you can do whatever you want. We have people that don't work in this business. They still make tons of money. We have people that are just flat-out crusaders like Assad. Assad's going to be doing an app on his deathbed. We know that, right? Right? We know that.
Bring your checkbook to my funeral.
He's going to have one of those black Sharpies out, talking to nurse. Now, do you have your PNP in place? $53. Right, left-handed. You know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. But listen, if you want to have time and money for you can have it here, right? Okay, so let me ask you, what are you really willing to sacrifice for a period of time to get this? Okay? And listen, does your activity reflect your mindset? And you might say, no, it doesn't. Yes, it always does. Because what you really believe is going to be what you really do. That's right. Right? What you really believe is what you're really going to do in this business. So you got to start off with mindset, and you've got to train yourself to focus on the end game, okay? Now, activity is cultivated by your attitude. Okay? Let me ask you something. Do you have a positive attitude? Do you really have a positive attitude? Right? We come in here, I come in, I'm always smiling. Now look, I'm not always like this excited. Like, I have down times like everybody else, right? Yes or yes. But when I come in here, I'm excited to see you guys. I want to give you those high fives. This young lady's like, I gave her a high five. She's like, hello, do I know you? I'm like, I don't know. You do now, right? Okay, this place is different, isn't it? I'm excited to be here on Friday nights, right? Look around you. People gave up their Memorial Day weekend on a Friday night to come here. Why? Not because they want to be bored for the average and ordinary job, right? We want to be different. We have to be positive. We have to have a positive attitude. Think positively, okay? Are you excited? Yeah. Some of y'all need to tell your face that. Come on now. I see you like are you excited? Yeah, I'm so excited about this business. Oh. Come on, man. That's not true. Are you excited about this business? Activity is cultivated by excitement. Look, nobody wants to get up in the morning and do something they hate. Yes or yes? Right? That's why you're here, because you don't want to have a job, right? Right? Nobody gets up on Monday morning, almost nobody gets up on Monday morning excited about their jobs, right? Oh, I can't wait to go. I'm so looking forward to going out. I can't wait to get in traffic. Oh, it's great. Now let me ask you something. Your activity is cultivated by your attitude about how much you believe in Primerica. Right? How much do you really believe in Primerica? One of the things that Assad said at a training, and listen, you got to get this deep down into your heart. Assad said this, right? And he said, I have 0% faith in this industry, right? And you guys know, if you've been in this industry for even a short period of time, you know that people are getting ripped off left and right every day by insurance people, right? I have 100% faith in Primerica, right? Do you really believe that? Okay? If you don't, you've got to get that down into your heart. That's why you got to be at every meeting, every training. You've got to learn everything about our business, this great company, and what we do. Because your activity is going to change exponentially when you get the belief about our product and what we do for the consumer down in our hearts, okay? Let me ask you this. Do you really believe in your abilities? Right? Do you believe in your ability to build this thing, to sit across from people at the kitchen table, to do what's right for them, to go toe-to-toe? I met with a guy yesterday, okay? I ended up on a one-legger, right? One-leggers are not good, right? For those of you who knew, that means that only one of the spouses was there, okay? So we showed up, both of them were supposed to be there. The wife got afraid. She didn't want to talk about their money and finance, and she left the house. Okay? And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was field training my new guy, Jonathan Mallard, right? And this guy, Jonathan Mallard, did a 5x5 in his first 14 days in the business. He's already licensed, by the way. He had a family trip planned months ago. He couldn't be here tonight, but he's tearing up. So I'm like, well, I'm going to run this appointment, and he's going to see what happens at a one-legger, right? So this guy has 4 kids, has 0 life insurance. 0 life insurance. Listen, I tried to convince that guy. He actually pulled his wallet out one time to give me his driver's license. I'm like, bro, man, you got to get life insurance. I did like 64 closes on this guy. Okay? Why? Listen, if that guy dies between now and Sunday at 4 o'clock when I go back to his house, I'm going to be miserable. I'm going to have to go and tell his wife, I'm sorry, I didn't do my job. Right? This is life or death, what we do. We've got to believe in what we're doing for people. I said it. Somebody brought it up. Who brought up about the 20-year thing? You want to curse your family, die without life insurance. 20 years minimum. It could take 4 generations for your family to recover from that. I don't want that on my conscience. Right? Now, I told him, he said, I got to go. I said, go call your wife and ask her about if you can do this. He went into the kitchen. I almost followed him and took the phone out of his hand and talked to her. I probably should have. Right? So do you believe in your ability? Do you believe in this vehicle? And listen, let me ask you something. Do you believe this will actually happen to you? What do I mean by that? Do you really believe that you can build a business here? Yes. Do you really believe that you can recruit and train and build people? Listen, we all have doubts inside of us, right? Listen, sometimes I know people look at people like Assad, people look at people like Ian, and even people like me. We've had great success at the beginning. We have doubts and fears just like you. Listen, we just overcome those fears. We just go beyond those fears because we believe that it's actually going to happen. Okay? So, activity is cultivated by your attitude. Listen, if you have a negative attitude about what you're doing, about this business, and you're not positive, you will eventually quit. Okay? Your activity will go down, and you will eventually leave this business. Okay. Your activity grows through use. Okay? Your activity goes through use, right? Now, I'm a pretty avid cyclist. I haven't been cycling much lately, but I'm a pretty avid cyclist. I used to cycle 3,000 to 5,000 miles a year. Okay? And I've cycled over 300 miles in 2 days before. We did a 170-mile ride and a 145-mile ride in 2 days. Let me tell you what, that's a lot of cycling. Right? And your butt will be sore from that, okay? But listen, if you train, and if you're going to ride that long, you got to train and train and train and train beforehand, because if you don't, man, you're not going to make it. We had something called a SAG vehicle, right? And that's a vehicle that picks up the people that haven't worked hard enough, right? So we had a couple guys, the first day, we did this about 4 years ago. It was really hot. It was like 90 degrees out. Guys were cramping. And we had a couple guys that had to go in the SAG vehicle and ride in between our stopping points, right? Why? Because they hadn't used their muscles enough, right? So listen, when you start to get activity and it starts to build, what happens? You start to be able to use that activity muscle, if you will, on a more consistent basis. So is that muscle prepared for the tasks, the tough tasks it takes for you to win? Right? Have you prepared that? The more activity you have, the more activity you're going to get. Aristide, did we get the slide in there of my calendar? Can we put that up there? The screenshot, did I send you the screenshot slide? Yeah. Okay. So this past week was one of the best weeks that I've had in Primerica. Okay, I passed over my personal best in premium, $13,700 with a week left. Right, and my goal for the month is $20,000 of personal premium. Right, and 10 recruits personal. I'm at 3, so I got a lot of recruiting to do. I have a week left, and my goal, I cash flowed $11,000 this month. We have two weeks left, and I'm not telling this to brag, okay? Because I've had some pretty bad months leading up to this cash flow. My goal is to hit $20,000 in cash flow for this month. Okay, we have 2 weeks left in the cash flow month, right? Okay, for those of you who are new, like our calendar month ends the 1st, but we keep getting paid for the prior month for 7 more days, okay? Now, everything you see there that looks purple or green is a Primerica appointment. Okay, and there's some before 7 o'clock. I couldn't get the whole screenshot of it. So there's meetings before 8 o'clock in the morning. There's a B&I group that I meet with. This is Wednesday here. All of these are meetings, okay? And by the way, what's on my calendar every Friday and every Tuesday? Training.
Right here,
right? Op night. Training night, okay? So all these, the green ones are my new guy, right? Jonathan Nallard. He sends me meeting invites. He's very organized. And everything there in green is from him. Everything there in purple is my personal meetings, okay? Now listen, if your calendar doesn't look like that, you're not going to win in Primerica. Now if you're part-time here, if you're just doing, that's not for you, right? But if you're full-time in Primerica, you need 20 to 30 appointments every single week. If you show me your calendar, I can pretty much show you what your production is going to be. How do I know that? Because half those appointments are going to reschedule. So if I've got 30, I'm going to run 15. I'm going to close on about 8 of those, or 9 or 10 if you're really good at closing. 5 recruits, 5 life apps, potentially some other product, right? So you've got to get your activity way, way up, okay? Way up, all right? Activity is the key to succeeding in this business, all right? So here's the ultimate activity. Art Williams said this. He said, do it, and do it, and do it, and do it, and do it until it's done. God bless you guys. See you at the top. Let's bring up a solid garage.